Welcome to Fenchurch Group. Fenchurch Group is an energy and infrastructure-focused conglomerate with headquarters in Nigeria and playing an active role in the development narrative of the African continent. Olufemi Bakare, a visionary, audacious, and goal-driven industry captain, is the Group Chief Executive Officer of the group.
Fenchurch Group has three subsidiaries. There's Fenchurch Power, there's Fenchurch Energy, and then there's Fenchurch Mickelson. That's a joint development company with a UK company called Jackals Mickelson. We started out actually with Fenchurch Energy. And Fenchurch Energy provides and still does consulting services in the oil and gas space. We provide a lot of service to financial institutions. We do a lot of monitoring work for them. We do a lot of installation work for them. We do a lot of analysis for a lot of financial institutions. Now, that then led to us being in the industry and understanding, because a lot of energy projects also have power needs. And then we set up Fenchurch Power in 2007. And Fenchurch Power is primarily focused on providing IPP solutions. In 2007, when we started, it was still PHCN then. Everything was still under the federal government of Nigeria then. And we got some work to build a 215 MVA injection stop station under the Ibadan zone in Ilesha. So we did that project and we ran about 60 kilometers of 33 kV lines. It was a very interesting project, but this also coincided with when the privatization was going to happen. So we joined a consortium to acquire Ibadan zone itself, actually. And then as things were going, that process was going, our consortium pulled out because the figures were not gelling together, as it were. But we were still interested in the space. We could see that there's the opportunity in this space. So we then decided that we would form Fenchurch Power. As opposed to just an EPC company, we would actually become developers and owners of generating assets and distribution assets. So we did an 8.5 megawatts IPP for the Delta State government in Asaba. We also decided to construct a 25 kilometers underground distribution network for that project. Because it's one thing for you to generate the power, it's another thing for the power to get to where it's required. So you'd say to your clients that I'm taking you off the grid and I'm going to be providing power to you, right? So what the client wants to know is, well, they don't get 24 hours power now. So that's obviously a good one for them. But then the reliability of that is important to the client. And so we build underground distribution networks to ensure that the power generated gets to the clients. Part of the unique selling point is that we raise the capital up front. So the client doesn't start to pay until we start to deliver the power. Of course, we'll sign the power purchase agreement and we'll collect some bankable security documents. Once that is done, it's entirely pretty straightforward from there. So on the back of that project, we were then invited by the Ekiti State government under Governor Fayemi. We're building a 5 megawatts IPP. On that project, we're also constructing a 11 kilometers underground distribution network. Then on the back of that, we're now doing 7.5 megawatts for a large manufacturing outfit that requires efficient power for their services, because this particular company wants to start exporting some of their products. So it's important that they have the power required. Also, we use clean energy. Our power plants are fired by gas. So that's clean energy. We're very focused on that also. So it's been interesting in bridging that gap. It's identifying the gaps and then how do you provide solution? And then again, how are you creative and innovative in the provision of those solutions?
The company, which is equipped with a team of experienced experts and well-trained young professionals, is built on simple and clear corporate vision and mission.
To provide infrastructure in the power space to resilient, sustainable infrastructure. The mission for us is to ensure that we provide this solution in the most efficient way, using the best technology and using the best hands. That's it in a nutshell. And everything we do has been wrapped around that. Africa is, the opportunities are there, right? And without power, we can't achieve our objective. So we're basically bridging that gap. We believe in progress through enterprise.
Fenchurch Group is driven by the philosophy of focusing on creating value through its unique approach that prioritizes value creation, knowledge processes, talent, rewarding people, and ensuring the right people are in the right roles with the right authority to make decisions. Expectedly, it delivers world-class quality products and services.
We provide IPPs. We also have a subsidiary that sells transformers. We also do line distribution, construction work. But we are primarily owners of the project. That's what we do. So basically, you can say we sell electricity as a service in a nutshell. That's what we do. We sell power. We totally take the burden of having engineers, having your power plants, and all the issues around that. We essentially take it off of our clients and we just provide the power. And then the client just pays the agreed tariff over the period of time.
In keeping with the well-known adage that says, "Show me your friends and I will tell you who you are," Fenchurch Group boasts of A-list clients.
Delta State Government is a client, Ekiti State Government is a client, Tempo Pulp and Packaging as a client, Abuja Disco is soon to be a client, and basically anybody that uses above 2 megawatts of power. Anybody that requires efficient power service is our client and potentially our clients. In fact, the discos who were originally opposed to companies such as ours are actually now our clients. Because before, the discos looked at companies such as ours as taking their clients. But the discos don't have the power to give, and if they don't let us give the power, then it's only the diesel seller that is making money. At the current diesel price today, you're looking at 220 per kilowatt hour, right? So really, who doesn't want to pay less for their power, right? And who doesn't want efficient power? Because with efficient power, you get productivity is up, So those are our clients. Anybody that requires efficient power is a client. Now, the discos are actually looking at franchising certain parts within their network. And they're looking for proven companies that understand this business and that can deliver. So again, the discos are also our client.
Delectable Kemi Ojo, a human and corporate management expert, is the head Human Capital and Corporate Services of Fenchurch Group, one of the frontline energy and infrastructure services solutions providers in Africa.
Fenchurch Group comprises of a couple of other companies. It entails Fenchurch Energy, Fenchurch Power, and Fenchurch Milkison, which basically our focus is providing power end to end. So we play in a value chain process for power services in Nigeria. Not just power, but an infrastructural development focused company. I would always tell people that I'm like the foreman in the factory. So my role in Fenchurch practically just entails human capital engagement, ensuring that, we take care of, I handle both the payroll, the employee shared services, training and engagement, human capital development, and the employee welfare, including contractors, because we have other contracting companies that offer services to us. So I do the liaison between, the organization and the third parties that relate with us. And in terms of corporate services, I sort of run the shop. Admin, operations, every other functional unit, the brand positioning. Sometimes, because of my banking background, double up as the finance person, though we have a financial person, a chartered accountant in-house, and we also work with consultants on our finances aspect. But with my skills and experience, I mean, coming from banking of about 16.5 years, I also double up to check the books and look into the finances. Yes, so that's basically day to day what I handle for. I've just summarized it. Oh, it's been wonderful. It's been challenging at the same time because managing people, they say people is one of the most greatest resource of every organization, and it could be one of the most complex that you can ever have to handle because, you know, people come in their diversity, come in their uniqueness, you know, come in, and you need to ensure that everybody behaves well in line with the values, in line with the philosophies of the organization, directed towards achieving the day-to-day goals and the overall, I mean, strategic objective of the organization. Yeah, so I think the roles I play there is we do a lot of team bonding, and one of the philosophies that we preach in Fenchurch is we offer an open door policy where everybody, and it's always an all-inclusive engagement. Nobody is an island, and we feel that everybody has a valued input to put to the table. So when it comes to decision making, you find myself, the CEO, even to the list of persons you can think about in the organization, sitting on the round table and brainstorming. So nobody is left behind. Everyone is carried along in the decision making process. So this is also gaining from the kind of leadership philosophy that Fenchurch also is driving, in line with global standards and global practices, to ensure that, you know, people in the real sense of it. What you find out is in Nigeria today, a lot of organizations pay lip service to, I mean, an all-inclusive leadership style. You know, what we find out is more of like a top-bottom, you know, control system, you know, information dissemination. But at Fenchurch, we put everybody at almost a level playing ground, and we know that everybody is as important as the other, and nobody's skill or knowledge is downplayed over and above the other.
Lolu Akingbe, an experienced, insightful, and resourceful industry operator, is the Chief Operating Officer of Fenchurch Group, a frontline integrated energy and infrastructure support solutions provider in Africa.
So my role as the COO is basically to make sure that the operations of the company go according to plan and stay on track. So there are different phases of it. There's organizing the operations in-house. So that's the whole staffing, policies, and everything we need to do in-house. Then there's also, because we're project oriented, there's managing projects and the people on projects. I also do a lot of stakeholder management, working with regulatory organizations, working with government agencies, working with clients, just making sure that our relationships are good. Also making sure that our subsidiaries, we have 3 subsidiaries, moving accordingly. So as a Chief Operating Officer, it's a heavy responsibility. It's exciting, it's challenging, but it's my role to keep things moving, and we've been doing it. I have a good support system. I have a lot of experience behind me. Also, a lot of young people who work with me who are learning the ropes, so I have to mentor them too. But, you know, we have a fantastic team. So, you know, it's an exciting role, and it's something I look forward to doing every day. Is it challenging? Very. Nigeria, it's a challenging business environment. You know, the economy is challenging, the sector is challenging, but as the CEO had said, we're in it to win it. So we're in it for the long run. So we try and do things properly. You know, in our operations, we use technology and we use process to make sure that, you know, everything is in place. One of our operations is recruitment, and we've been recruiting bright young sparks, Nigerians, you know, and they're willing to learn, they soak up knowledge, and they also bring innovation and creativity to the roles. You know, these younger ones, they have a lot of energy in them, So we also thrive off of the energy. I also have a couple of experienced hands that I work with too. You know, we've been through this before. We map the path, but the young ones are almost like the engine room. So it's a balance, you know, and it's been working, and we're moving forward.
Engineer Odunayo Lanre, an experienced industry operator, is the technical director at Fenchurch Group.
For Fenchurch Power, my role as an engineer is we start from the conception stage, which is the design. We generate a design for any power project. When we have a design for the power project, you know, if you can conceive something, that means you can actually actualize it. So at the conceptual stage, we as an engineer, we will have seen beyond, even up till the functioning stage of the plant. If I get a power project today, if you tell me your requirement in terms of megawatts, for example, if you are my client and you are telling me that you need 5 megawatts, as I'm sitting here, I can conceptualize your 5 megawatts from the design stage to the delivery stage, even to the operation stage of the plant. So what we do basically in engineering or the technical department, we are more or less like the executor of the project. We are involved in the engineering, we are involved in the procurement, we are involved in the construction, we are involved in the maintenance. The maintenance aspect of any IPP plant, we call it operation and maintenance. So these are the roles that we play. Like we all know, in engineering is easy to say. I don't like to discourage people. Even studying engineering in school is not easy. People can testify to it. But at the same time, we have challenges in this part of the world, in Nigeria. People don't pay attention to details, even from the design stage, except you can put your feet down that this is what you want. And you know, this now requires a lot of monitoring and a lot of different levels of supervision before you can actually achieve what you want on any project. And you know, in engineering, you don't just wake up one day and say this is what you want. We have basic rules, we have standards, we have regulation for every aspect. So all those things for us to adhere to all those standards, to meet up the global standard. So you as an engineer, you need to train and retrain your people. You need to let them have that consciousness, let them be part of the project from day one. From the conceptualization, if you assemble your team, you should create that consciousness in them that this is what you want. This is the final thing that you want to see on the project, even in terms of operation and maintenance. So if they key into it from day one, then you don't have problem. But if you don't train and retrain them, even while we are working, we train and we retrain people every time so that they will have that consciousness of your delivery in view. You know, the young people in Nigeria, I'm young as well. So, and Rome was not built in a day, like they say. So I started somewhere. So if you work with somebody that is detailed, somebody that it is the passion. If you have a passion for something as a boss, you can easily transfer that passion to the younger ones that are coming. If you let them see the reason for them to key into what you are doing, most time what we do, we encourage them. First of all, don't put money first in this industry that, oh, I want to go into power, so I want to go and make millions. No, that's not what we are saying. You know, your passion can easily give you even billions if you work on it. So you let people know, especially the young ones, you know, it is a male-dominated field, and I'm a woman, and you know what it takes. Even there are some people that I'm working that are older than me, but the point is, this industry, the engineering aspect of this job, we let people have this sense of belonging. Let them share the vision with us from day one. Let them know what we want to do. And like I keep telling people, when I'm done with a project, I raise my shoulder. So when you start a project from the beginning and you are doing it, if you see the beginning and you see the end, then when you want to commission the project, you switch on the engine 1 is working, you switch on the engine 2 is working, there is something we call a dummy load. Let's say we've not started a operation fully, and you use a dummy load to actually ascertain the capacity of the plant that you are building in the course of testing and commissioning. So by the time you start putting on the engine, you see the synchronization system, you see everything working, you see something that you started on a piece of paper, and immediately probably from your head, and you see the actualization. It gives me joy. So I let people see beyond this is what I want to make from this project. But at the end of the day, the functionality, the efficiency, and the running of that plant gives us joy at the end of the day. That's the only thing. Like I keep telling people, if I don't have even money on a project, we still work for money. But at the same time, you can actually raise your shoulder and say, oh, I built this plant. I was part of people that did this job. It's enough to keep you driving, because you know that engineering is very challenging in this country. But things like this, your finishing, your operation, when you are still in the system, it gives you joy and keeps you going on in the field. So many challenges. For example, if you want to go on a project, people don't understand that we struggle to get this money for this project. Like the CEO told you, that if we want to develop a plant, we source for the funds with some bankable security documents. So in all these processes that you are struggling to get the funds, or you are struggling to get a finance from, let's say, the Nigerian bank, for example. So when you get that money at the end of the day and you start a project, people think that because you are on a project, for example, let me give a state government project that we are doing, for example. So people that are assigned to supervise you in a ministry or agency, they think, this project is so billion naira. So you are in money. So they want you to be spending the money, and it's different. Government is not paying you. Even if it is a corporate organization, even if it is an estate, they are not giving you kobo to deliver the project. So they start paying tariff as soon as the plant kicks off. So, but people don't realize it. So they believe that you have the money, so you should be spending it. Or maybe if you have any issue, you want to resolve it with one ministry or the other. A lot of people, even people that you even call to come and work, the unskilled labor, for example, they will come. Madam, this is money now. You pay us. After all, you collect fortune for this project. People don't understand that it is the same within organization that we raise the fund. We have the same engineering team that we know from the beginning to the end of the project how we source for the funds. And when the execution is going on, so we want to manage the fund in such a way that it will keep us till the completion. Even at times, you run the plant for some time before you start collecting your tariff from until the plant is stable, let me put it like that, before you start collecting your tariff from your client. So these are the issues. So a lot of people believe that because you are doing a project that worth so millions or billions of naira, that you have money. So everybody wants to leverage on that to be tasking people, which is relatively, the kind of situation we find ourselves. Then we have this issue with the technicians that we work with. So people just want to do their job and get out. They don't want to pay attention to do it. So ability to keep them on that job, so that you be on top of every situation as a supervisor, as a manager. We have different level of supervising a project. So from the technician to the storekeeper to the safety officer, we have different levels. So adhering to simple safety rules and regulations, which we are still trying to train our people and create awareness for them, that if you need to do a job at all, make sure that, because if it is only when there is life, then that you can say you want to do a job. But some people would not want to keep to the safety aspect of the job. They just want to do a job sharp and get out. I use the word sharp because that is what is common in the industry. That, madam, this thing we can do it within 3 days, but they don't consider the health and safety aspect of the project. So you keep sensitizing people, train and retraining them. So it's very challenging. But notwithstanding, we try as much as possible from the very first day that we have a safety induction on any project. We let people know the importance of why they need to be alive. They need to be alive because if they are not alive, even the money you will get on the project, you will spend it So if you are not alive, how do you want to spend the money? So that's just it. So the safety, adhering to safety rules and regulations is something that our people are not conscious of, but we are trying to train them.